drain cleaning, leak detection. We are licensed and insured, so call Plumbing Solution at 628-4646.
Good evening and welcome. You're watching the 7 o'clock news here on CNC3. I'm Kijan Haynes.
I am Doris Polo.
I'm Jovan Ravello with Sport.
And I'm Jamal Krampasad with your weather.
Let's tell you what's making the news tonight. Judge sends CEPEP files to DPP and Faris Al-Rawi has questions to answer.
Prime Minister outlines 3 options to tackle U.S. tariffs, starting with dialogue.
Commissioner defends police services' ability to investigate its own after recent police shootings.
In sport, 3 days, 3 wins. TNT remains perfect at CONCACAF Under-15 Championship.
We had torrential rainfall this morning, but more is on the way. I'll have the details in tonight's weather report.
Top of the news tonight, a lawsuit over a move by the government to terminate over 300 CEPEP contractors took an unexpected turn today.
That's right. This morning, High Court Judge Margaret Mohammed agreed to stay the case and refer it to the Office of the Director of Public Prosecutions for a possible criminal probe into the recent 3-year renewals of the contracts.
Former Rural Development and Local Government Minister Faris Al-Rawi will be a key figure in the DPP's considerations, as he is alleged to have informed the CEPEP officials that the renewals had Cabinet's approval at the time. Derek Achong tells us more in this report.
Director of Public Prosecutions Roger Gaspard has been asked to look into the conduct of Opposition Senator Faris Al-Rawi in procuring the renewals of over 300 CEPEP contractors days before the general election on April 28th. High Court Judge Margaret Mohammed referred the issue to Gaspard this morning as she agreed to stay the case brought by one of the contractors. Justice Mohammed felt it necessary based on the serious allegations over the renewals that arose in the evidence before her. She notes, however, that Al-Rawi did not participate in the case and should be given an opportunity to respond to the allegations. She also criticized Eastman Enterprise for rushing to file the case, which it pursued with the assistance of the People's National Movement. She agreed with arguments raised by CEPEP's lawyers led by Senior Counsel Anand Ram Logan, who claimed that Eastman was required to pursue mediation and arbitration before litigation under its contract. The premature end to the case and the unexpected referral was well received by CEPEP Chief Executive Keith Eddy, who had claimed that he was pressured by Al-Rawi to facilitate the renewals and that Al-Rawi gave the assurance of Cabinet approval. Via statement, Eddy called on Al-Rawi to address his allegations directly. Eddy says CEPEP is seeking legal advice on further legal action over the extensions. CNC3 News attempted to contact Al-Rawi to respond to the development, but he did not respond to calls to his cell phone. Eastman filed the case after the contract was terminated in June, leaving over 10,000 CEPEP workers on the breadline. While it was seeking an injunction over the move and blocking the appointment of replacement contractors, Justice Mohammed dealt with CEPEP's preliminary challenge to the case first. Derek Achong, CNC3 News.
Thanks, Derek. Well, Opposition Senator Faris Al-Rawi has issued a response saying he sees no issue with the probe.
He notes that Justice Mohammed did not have sight of the Cabinet note from 2017 in which the power to renew CEPEP contracts was delegated to the state company's board.
He says that note was never revoked and wasn't presented by CEPEP in the case.
And speaking at the post-cabinet news conference a short while ago, Public Utilities Minister Barry Padarath says this judgment is historic.
In an instance like this, when an application was made for review on a decision taken by a state entity or state enterprise, where the learned judge herself, as a judicial officer, have now referred this matter to the DPP. It is not a case of coming out of an allegation or an investigation from the company itself. The judicial officer, in making the determination with respect to adjudicating on this specific matter, was the person who has referred this matter.
Shifting gears, with the U.S. 15% reciprocal tariff on TNT goods taking effect today. Prime Minister Kamala Persad-Bissesseh is reassuring the nation that her government is exploring all options. Speaking
during her tour of the USNS Comfort docked at the port of Spain, the Prime Minister said her government is pursuing 3 response strategies. The tariff is expected to impact TNT's manufacturing and export sectors. While energy products like crude oil and natural gas are exempt, key exports such as ammonia and fertilizer are not. August 7th marked the formal deadline for the imposition of the new 15% U.S. tariff. However, Prime Minister Kamala Persad-Bissesseh outlined the government's response options.
We have 3 options. We are following all 3 options. One is, of course, to engage in conversations with our friends from the United States. The second, and we've already begun, is looking for alternative markets we can export. I think the products that we most hit will be our ammonia and methanol products, energy products, but then our competitors are also being hit with tariffs. So if it reduces our competitiveness, theirs is also reduced.
The United States remains Trinidad and Tobago's largest trading partner, with total trade estimated at approximately $6 billion.
Now, Trinidad and Tobago and Guyana are subject to a 15% tariff, while other CARICOM members remain at a lower rate.
Okay, still to come in the news, Minister Padareth tells public consultation Stand Your Ground was needed to address runaway crime.
Crowds rush U.S. floating hospitals, some telling CNC3 News they've been in line since 2 a.m.
And coming up in sport, we look ahead to the start of the West Indies one-day series against Pakistan on Friday. Welcome back. Couva South MP Barry Padareth says the proposed Stand Your Ground legislation is needed to address runaway crime left unabated by the People's National Movement.
Padareth spoke at Caldrack Club, California last night during a public consultation. He says after complaining of increasing crime for almost 10 years, particularly home invasions, his government is now proposing the Home Invasion Self-Defense of Property Bill. Padareth says the bill is a drastic measure for a drastic time.
So I've contextualized for you the natural progression of serious crime, very serious crime, and how it has gotten progressively worse instead of progressively better. And in local parlance, we say drastic times call for drastic action.
Also speaking at the consultation, Legal Affairs Minister Saddam Hussein said one benefit of the law is that homeowners who use their firearm will no longer have to wait years to have it returned.
The effect of the law as being proposed right now is this. We are allowing persons to use a particular type of force against a home invader. So once prima facie that can be made out that the person is a home invader, a lawful firearm was used and so on, there may not even necessitate an investigation because now you're clothing the home user with protection of the law. That's the first point.
Hussein says the proposed legislation will need the support of independent senators, and that's why the public consultations are ongoing to gather as many responses as possible so government can produce a well-balanced piece of legislation.
He adds that the bill formed part of the party's manifesto, which was adopted as government policy, making it part of their anti-crime plan. Now, Police Commissioner Alistair Guevara says the TTPS remains committed to transparency and integrity, even as police-involved killings have risen sharply.
The commissioner was speaking at a security and strategic planning meeting in the borough of Chaguanas, where the National Security Minister suggested that internal support systems may be emboldening police officers.
Janelle Bernard has the story.
Police Commissioner Alistair Guevara says the TTPS is capable of investigating its own. This as the number of fatalities as a result of police-involved shootings see a sharp increase. It is currently at 49. 10 of these occurred since the state of emergency began on July 18th. But the commissioner insists that the police can independently investigate its own.
Some people calling it extrajudicial killings. I want to assure the public here today that the TTPS has always and shall continue under my watch be able to independently investigate its own, and if wrongdoing is found, prosecute those who are found to be doing wrong.
But he adds that the TTPS is receptive of any assistance from the PCA.
We are also ably assisted by the Police Complaints Authority, which is an independent oversight body, and we welcome any cooperation with that entity.
And Homeland Security Minister Roger Alexander, while not mentioning police-involved killings in particular, says police officers are now more confident in carrying out their duties.
You have been seeing police operating a particular type of way. I am here to lend that support. First time probably in the history of Trinidad and Tobago you see where teams are put together, legal teams are put together for the purpose of having the officers feel confident in the execution of their duties.
Meanwhile, the commissioner is boasting of a significant decline in the homicide rate.
According to provisional data from the Crime and Problem Analysis Branch, 231 murders have been recorded between the 1st of January and the 4th of August of this year. This figure represents a significant decrease when compared to the same period in preceding years. When compared to 2024, it is a 35.8% decrease.
PCA Director David West declined to comment on the commissioner's statement. Janelle Bernard, CNC3 News.
Thanks, Janelle. As the 2-month mark approaches since Police Commissioner Alistair Guevara was sworn in, we asked citizens whether they are satisfied with his performance so far.
Here's what you had to say.
Well, for the first 3 months in office, I find his performance a bit under par. Yeah, because you see the situations, the kidnappings and things going wrong and things. I find he ain't doing a good job at all. He needs to step up his game.
So far, I think he's doing a good job. I mean, it's a short time that he is there as commissioner, and we're seeing some action happening. So we hope he keep it up and continue the work.
I find the commissioner working because I've seen people getting locked up. I've seen they're catching all the people that do crime. For some reason, I've seen action happening. I've seen police out on the road, they're catching them as fast as possible.
I think that he's been making some strides to make the country a safer place. I've been seeing a lot more activities with the police. I've seen a lot more police throughout the day. So I think he's been making some good efforts.
Well, he seems to be doing a very good job. Yeah, I'm very impressed so far with him. Yeah, I'm hoping to see much more.
What I could say, he seemed to be doing a good job up to now. And I pray that it would get better and better.
Give it some time. On a scale of 1 to 10, or about 5.5.
6 more men have been detained under the emergency power regulations. Homeland Security Minister Roger Alexander signed detention orders for Kalfini Smith, Kyle Farrell, Malik Ferdinand, Nimal Mahadeo, and Terrence Maloney, also known as T-Man or Ice. Now, Maloney was recently on bail for firearm offenses. He's accused of planning the assassination of Josiah Phillip in a gang reprisal. He's also linked to the murder of Marvin Phillip and a cache of high-powered rifles. Farrell and King are also tied to that same murder plot. Smith and Ferdinand are said to be members of the RC7 gang and were allegedly preparing for a retaliatory shooting after the killing of Omari Makaneni. Now, Mahadeo is accused of helping to coordinate a public hit on a woman, gathering intel and providing support. All 6 are being held at the Eastern Correctional Center in Arima.
Health Minister Dr. Lakram Bodo says medical care provided by the USNS Comfort will help ease the ministry's backlog of surgeries and specialist consultations.
During a tour of the Napa site today, Dr. Bodo admitted the public health system has struggled with unmet medical needs in recent years. His comments came as hundreds braved the rain for free treatment. But as you'll hear in this report from Neil Romain and Crystal Lee, some who arrived as early as 2 a.m. still left without being seen.
By 11:30 a.m., patience was wearing thin. These people had been waiting in line outside the USNS Comfort Med site at the National Academy for the Performing Arts for hours. Some of them arrived outside Napa from as early as 2 a.m. Hundreds braved the wind and rain with hope of accessing one of the main medical services from the USNS Comfort staff. They waited for adult or pediatric services, dental care, optometry, physical therapy, and dermatology. But some of them were unsuccessful.
I reached here 3:30. Yeah, so that was disappointing. I would not be returning.
I came here since 5 o'clock this morning, waiting on the line to get dental assistance. And we didn't get through. They say they take like 20 persons, and that's all what they do for the morning.
By midday, dental care, cardiology, and women's health were closed off.
Further evaluations and then prescribed glasses and sunglasses.
As he looked outside, Health Minister Dr. Lakram Bodo said he assumed office with some unmet health demands, which his ministry is trying to address. He said one of the biggest challenges is the waiting list for surgeries, 100 of whom were recommended to the USNS Comfort team.
We were able to provide the names of patients who need assistance. So we would have gone through all of the 4 RHAs, and we've also invited the TRHA from Tobago to send patients as well.
The minister said the waiting list was in the hundreds. Some were waiting 3 years, and Dr. Bodo said this will help reduce the current waiting list.
Out of these consultations in the clinics, referrals can be added to our public health system. So it means that the patients who are seen this morning will be followed up in the public health system.
And while some people said they will not return because of how disorganized the process was, free medical health care continues from 8 a.m. Carissa Lee, CNC3 News.
Daily paid workers at the San Fernando General Hospital downed tools today after heavy rains caused the ceiling to collapse in the stockroom. President of the National Union of Government and Federated Workers Southern Division, Jason Gordon, is blaming the Southwest Regional Health Authority for the incident. He says workers were concerned about asbestos and other health violations as a result. Meanwhile, hospital branch president and shop steward Roger Roach says the union warned the SWRHA for over a year about the need for alternative accommodations, but no action was taken. He says workers were unable to access tools or facilities, explaining that the hostel accommodation was meant to last 3 months, but has been in use for 6 years.
The ceiling and in the house, our tools and our equipment and all that to do our job, it had collapsed and the whole area is flooded inside there, right? There's also a change room down there for the grass and environment fellas. That guys look at the grass and stuff. Also, there's a bathroom down there that we're not accessible to right now because of that, and it's become a hazard. So right now we cannot get to our equipment. So everything that's wet due to how they take off the roof.
NUGFW Labour Officer Anika Rivers has warned the RHA to quickly resolve the issue or risk negatively affecting patients and staff.
It will really have a great impact within it will affect the patients and the welfare of the staff, persons coming in to seek medical attention. Because as I told you, the grounds and environment guys, we have daily rated guys who provide, who transport the medication from one place to the next. We have daily rated grounds and environment who maintain, who do cleaning, sanitizing. You know, if you have a spill on the wall and you have an emergency, you call for daily rated grounds and environment, you'll need that person.
Meanwhile, the authority clarified that the area where the ceiling collapsed was unoccupied and restricted due to safety hazards. They added that repairs are currently underway with completion expected by August 31st. When contacted, Health Minister Dr. Lakram Bodo confirmed he has ordered an investigation into the workers' concerns.
Okay, Dr. Curtis Denny has been promoted to president of PLIPDECO.
Meanwhile, Irfan Hussein, Director of Investment at the Ministry of Trade, says now is the ideal time to build a strong economic partnership with Africa. Andrea Perez-Sobas has more in tonight's Business Watch.
Dr. Curtis Denny has been appointed president of Point Lisa's Industrial Port Development Corporation for a period of 3 months. His appointment was effective as of August 1st and concludes on October 31st. Denny was the vice president of port operations before this new post. A notice posted on the TNT Stock Exchange on Wednesday outlined the notice of material change. The entire board of PLIPDECO resigned effective July 18th. A new board was appointed with Ram Narang Prasad appointed chairman and board members, including Vanessa Kusi, the widow of Rishi Nagasa, who was one of the 4 land and marine construction services divers killed in the February 2022 Paria fuel diving tragedy. PLIPDECO has undergone a series of changes since last year, with top officials being sent on administrative leave. Now is the time to deepen economic and trade ties with Africa, so says a top official at the Ministry of Trade, Investment and Tourism, Irfan Hossain. Hossain, who is the Director of Investment, outlines that the Caribbean's trade agreements are heavily concentrated in North America, Latin America and Europe, but not with Africa.
There's an absolute need to push that. Right now, Trinidad and Tobago is a signatory to 13 bilateral investment treaties, none of them with an African country. The previous administration did work with the Ghanaians to sign a bilateral investment treaty, but it has yet to be entered into force.
Speaking about the most talked about topic, the foreign exchange issue, Aisha Mania, Managing Director of Aquarian Consult in Nigeria, pointed out that one of the ways the continent has been working around this issue is with initiatives like the Pan-African Payment and Settlement System.
Which means that someone in Tanzania can pay for something in Morocco in Tanzanian local currency and vice versa. And I think now they have about 30-something countries who have signed on. But they've gone further. They have launched something called CAPS, which is the CARICOM payment system. And they're integrating PAPS and CAPS.
Hossain and Mania was speaking at a panel at the annual Transatlantic Trade and Investment Symposium. And now for a look at today's energy and foreign exchange prices. Andrea Perez-Sobas, CNC3 Business Watch.
Thanks so much, Andrea. Let's hand you over now to Jean-Marc Rampersad to find out what's coming up next in the weather.
We had some intense thunderstorms over Trinidad this morning, just after midnight over the northeast and over the southeast during the mid-morning. Elsewhere across TNT, we had light to moderate rainfall with some isolated heavy showers later on in the day. That activity has now settled, leaving behind some cloudy conditions. I'll have the forecast for you coming up just after the break.
Quality food to fill you.
Hey, pretty lady, I see you're looking for some hot sauce. Boy, move it. I have a man. See you. So you don't want no mother-in-law?
Attention, valued shoppers. We are thrilled to celebrate 34 amazing years with you, our loyal customers. A huge congratulations to all our winners.
Hey, don't make joke. I know we're not shopping spree.
What snacks we buying, mommy?
Look, boy, come on, eh? Well, look how I just win a Caribbean getaway now. Rock back. Girl, I know we're not shopping spree. Well, come on, help me now. You don't have a man? Later. Nah.
It's Southern Food Basket's 34th anniversary extravaganza from July 1st to August 31st. Shop and enter for a chance to win incredible prizes, Caribbean getaways, staycations, shopping spree, and the ultimate grand prize of a brand new Suzuki Grand Vitara.
Established in 1984, Telecom Security Services is the best in cash in transit with our armored vehicles with impeccable record. Featuring 24-hour surveillance to protect our clients' valuables. This is asset security that's equipped and efficient. From a modern head office, we deliver quality and trust, mitigating risk. Operational excellence with highly trained and dedicated staff. The best cost-driven security solution. Telecom Security Services.
Presenting the most modern pharmaceutical facility in the country, Food Basket Hyperfarm Pharmacy Food Basket Complex Arima. We stock the widest range of health and beauty products, baby supplies, stationery, fragrances and cosmetics. Our organic, sugar and gluten-free products cater to vegans and the health conscious. A wide assortment of dispensary medication and over-the-counter items at the most affordable prices. Make Hyperfarm Pharmacy your choice. Located on the compound of Food Basket Complex Arima.
A nice common subject that's coming up now is neck pain, and we're seeing it more and more often.
The important thing is to look at your posture, ensuring you've got a good posture.
We could get some tumors in the neck as well too, that could be causing neck pain as well.
I'm seeing a lot of neck pain due to device use. So your mobile phones, tablets.
The distribution of your symptoms in your lower limbs doesn't always mean your lower back is your focus, but you could also have problems in your neck.
Tune in on CNC3 this Friday at 8 p.m.
Welcome back. There was torrential rainfall this morning over southeastern Trinidad, resulting in flash flooding and elevated river levels.
That's right. The flood marooned several residents in their homes as the roads were nearly impassable. CNC3 News contacted Kokal Mafiking Councillor Ronel Kisoon for an update.
However, in Mafiking Village, water levels are rising. So Northwest Trace, that would be inside Mafiking, water levels are high. We have 3 homes that are marooned, surrounded by water. Those residents really can't leave. Our DMU are monitoring and are communicating with them in the event that they need to leave.
There were also several reports of fallen trees and blown roofs elsewhere in the Mayaro-Rio Claro region due to strong winds from the severe thunderstorm this morning.
That's a good way to bring you in, Jean-Marc. You did warn us about this early this morning to look out for weather in that area.
Yes, I did.
You see what happened there? Didn't
quite expect the intensity that we got this morning, resulting in the flooding and other damages. But we can expect these thunderstorms to continue. It is a bit of concern because I know in the northeast and southeast areas of Trinidad, the river levels are a bit elevated. And we're going into low tide now, so hopefully the water runs off. But now let's take a look at the satellite. Today we had rainfall due to the intertropical convergence zone as those showers continuously regenerated from midnight until sometime this afternoon. Things are now settled, but we're not in the clear just yet. Further east we can see we have tropical wave number 23 and it has started to move northwest, gradually drifting out into the North Atlantic. And on this particular satellite loop, it does look a bit ominous, but that's because there's a lot of moisture associated with it. But what we really need to look at is the southern part of it here and if it will affect us over the weekend. So taking a quick look at the forecast track, not much change as it's taking a long time to get its act together. Here we can see that it's expected to continue moving northwest away from the Lesser Antilles. But once it gets just around here, which is around Monday, there is some uncertainty in what it's expected to do. So everyone from Florida all the way to Bermuda should still keep an eye on it for development. So the forecast for tonight, we can expect a few showers, mostly favoring eastern areas of Trinidad with just a low chance of the odd heavy shower. Overnight lows of 24 in Trinidad and 25 in Tobago. Tomorrow we can expect the relatively wet conditions to continue, but not as intense as yesterday. The showers are likely to be scattered throughout the day, with the heavier showers and thunderstorms likely to favor the late morning into the afternoon period. The evening should be mostly settled, but a few showers are expected to linger overnight tomorrow. Sea conditions are still moderate with waves up to 2 meters in open waters and less than 1 meter in sheltered areas. Winds are expected to be out of the east at around 15 knots. Now looking ahead, we still have the medium to high chance of thunderstorms over the next 3 days, and with the river levels in northeast and southeastern Trinidad elevated based on reports from officials in the area, this may be some cause for concern. Also, we're in a spring tide period, which means higher than normal high tides, so the water will tend to run off a bit slower than normal. Now, yesterday, NOAA issued an update to their Atlantic season hurricane forecast, and they're still expecting an above-normal season. They're expecting 13 to 18 named storms. 5 to 9 of those can be hurricanes, with 2 to 5 of those major hurricanes or Category 3 or higher. Remember, we already have 4 named storms so far, and the climatological peak of the season is on September 10th, so still a lot of time to get those figures. Hopefully none of them impact the region and just stay out in the Atlantic, or what we call fish storms.
Let's pray God is still a Trini.
Hopefully.
All right, thanks a lot, Jean-Marc. Okay, still to come in the news. Friends and family braved the rain for the funeral of Tara Lochansing, whom they now call an angel.
Food basket, nation's #1 supermarket, bakery, restaurant, meat market, fresh producers, everything fantastic. For everyday low price, things real nice. Come in once, but to come back twice. Wholesale, retail, everything for you. A remush, I wanna shop, let go view. Food basket, the nation's #1 supermarket, bakery, restaurant, meat market, fresh producers, everything fantastic. Food basket, hypermarket, Arima, where shopping is a pleasure and the price is right.
Big ambition starts with clear vision. This back to learning season, Rera Optical has eyewear packages for every learner. For kids 15 years and under, get a free frame with lenses starting at just $495. Scholars, it's time to level up your look with frame plus lenses from $750. Lifelong learners, purchase any frame $1,099 plus and unlock up to 30% off premium lenses like Eisen, Varilux, and Transitions in 8 bold colors. And And don't miss your chance to win a $1,500 learning supply voucher or transition lenses when you purchase any eyewear package. Ferrera Optical, big ambition, clear vision. Visit us in store today. This promotion is NOCB approved.
This Christmas in July, Bright Ideas is lighting up your home like it's Christmas morning. Unwrap 25% off all lighting, fixtures and chandeliers all month long. From sleek modern pieces to statement chandeliers. It's the perfect time to refresh your space and reveal something bright and beautiful. Check our 8 locations or online at brightideashomestore.com or on the Bright Ideas mobile app. This Christmas in July, it's time to shine. Bright Ideas, slay the savings.
Some nights call for more than just a slice. At Rizzoni's, we serve pizza the way it was meant to be. Brick-fired, bold, and brought out fresh, again and again. This is all you can eat, Rizzoni style, where the pizzas come to you. Crisp crusts, rich sauce, melty cheese, every round with new toppings, new flavors, and no limit. Every Friday from 4 p.m. Join us at Movietown, Fiesta Plaza, Port of Spain, or C3 Movietown, San Fernando. So go ahead, stay for that next slice. We'll keep them coming.
This Java bring the whole family to La Vega Estate, Trinidad's #1 family-friendly destination, open daily, including weekends and public holidays. La Vega is more than Trinidad's leading garden center. It's packed with fun for everyone. New this season, thrilling ATV tours for the adventure seekers, plus 2 large pools, fishing, nature trails, playgrounds, and more. Camp under the night sky. Make a booking for an unforgettable family getaway. Call or WhatsApp 714-5969 to plan your next adventure today.
Shop Southern Food Basket anniversary specials now. Carrots, 3 packs for $19.95. Lentils, 2 pounds, 1 for $13.95. Creamery ice cream assorted, 1 gallon, 2 for $90. Bright Wash laundry detergent powder assorted, 900 grams, 2 for $19.95. Snuggle bathroom tissue, 12 pack, 1 for $19.95. Clorox, 1 gallon, 1 for $26.95. With every $300 you spend at any Southern Food Basket, you can qualify to win a brand new Suzuki Grand Vitara. Much more prizes to be won, including Caribbean getaways, staycations, and shopping sprees.
All right, despite heavy rains in Rio Claro, mourners came together to say goodbye to someone who was more than just a wife, mother, and grandmother. Tara Lochansing was described as a hero.
The 47-year-old made the ultimate sacrifice, her life for that of her 5-year-old granddaughter, Aria, after they found themselves being swept away in the Matura River on Emancipation Day. Today, many braved the inclement weather for her funeral. The eulogy containing the child's interpretation of what happened with her grandmother during that fateful moment.
5-year-old Aria, who saw when her mama Tara went down on the water on that tragic day, and she saw angels with wings take Mama Tara up to heaven.
Her daughter-in-law, Sasha, says Tara was her second mother and her partner in crime. Meanwhile, Lochan Singh's husband described her as his life partner, and Brandon, her only child, also expressed his unwavering love for her.
Even when I did not believe in myself, my mother was my biggest supporter and my biggest fan. She always the life of every party and the light in my life. Half of my heart is in heaven with my angel. I love you, Mom, and I will miss you so much.
Following the service, the procession made their way to Mafeking Village for the cremation. In the dead of night, the Port of Spain City Corporation removed the Christopher Columbus statue from Independence Square.
The operation began around 10 p.m. According to a post by the corporation, the decision was made to minimize traffic disruptions. The removal was guided by heritage architect Rodlin Defoe Roberts and Mayor Chinua Allen. The statue is now in the care of the National Trust and will be made available to the National Museum and Art Gallery once it's completed. Its removal followed consultations with stakeholder groups, including First Peoples and cultural organizations. Today, Eric Lewis held a smoke ceremony at the site to commemorate the occasion.
You see, statues are symbolic, but they also carry a weight to it. It serves almost like it was something monumental, right? And think about that even the spaces were polluted with this monstrosity of a figure that was here. So we're here to, represent our ancestors' cry and call over all the centuries of torment and, rape and enslavement. The first peoples were the first enslaved people of this island.
Shabaka Kambon of Freedom Project Caribbean says the removal of the Columbus statue is a historic victory that took years of activism. He calls it the first step in decolonizing both land and mind. He says the next challenge is to confront the colonial narratives still taught in schools and which are embedded in national identity. Now, as the National Museum is still under renovation, the statue is currently with the National Trust. All right, now it's time to hand over to Jovan Ravello, who is going to tell us about exciting times in women's football.
Thanks, Reese. Coming up in sport, Army exacts revenge and Grenada women remain perfect at the 3Ws Cup. And Mason Greenwood edges closer to CONCACAF. Details when sport returns after this break.
A nice common subject that's coming up now is neck pain, and we're seeing it more and more often.
The important thing is to look at your posture, ensuring you've got a good posture.
We could get some tumors in the neck as well too that could be causing neck pain as well.
I'm seeing a lot of neck pain due to device use. So your mobile phones, tablets.
The distribution of your symptoms in your lower limbs doesn't always mean your lower back is your focus, but you could also have problems in your neck.
Tune in on CNC3 this Friday at 8 p.m.
Dress like you mean business. At The Working Woman, we bring you stylish, professional looks made for the modern woman. From casual to formal workwear, we've got your professional wardrobe covered.
Shop Southern Food Basket anniversary specials now. Tyson leg quarters $9.95 per pound. Fiesta peas and carrots 3 for $19.95. Hungry Jack pancakes mix choco chips. Buttermilk 7 ounce 2 for $19.95. Tobo Benny chocolate 200 grams 2 for $17.95. Colgate Great regular flavor 4 ounces 2 for $28.95. With every $300 you spend at any Southern Food Basket, you can qualify to win a brand new Suzuki Grand Vitara. Much more prizes to be won, including Caribbean getaways, staycations, and shopping sprees.
Loving the flavors you get with Tetley. Loving the flavors you get with Tetley.
Wouldn't you just love a cup of Tetley tea right now? Dark, strong British blend to give you a good morning boost. Or Tetley decaf, all of the antioxidants, none of the caffeine. Losing weight or staying healthy your thing? Try Tetley green tea. Get the vitamins to boost your health with Tetley super teas. Or calm down with Tetley chamomile. Wouldn't you just love a cup of Tetley tea right now? Tetley, a tea for everyone.
Loving the flavors you get with Tetley, a tea for everyone. Tetley tea.
Distributed by AMCO, a subsidiary of Ansa McCall.
Only BioStrath gives your body more than 60 of the essential nutrients it needs every day in a product that's 100% natural for stronger immunity, enhanced focus, increased energy and stamina. BioStrath. Get what you need naturally.
Plumbing problems? Don't guess. Call Plumbing Solutions at 628-4646. Proud to be serving Trinidad and Tobago for over 20 years. We do it all. Maintenance and repairs, new construction, sewer lines, inspection, drain cleaning, leak detection. We are licensed and insured. So call Plumbing Solutions at 628-4646.
Welcome back. It's time for sport. TNT's under-15 footballers have sounded a warning to semi-final opponents Jamaica. The young men from our Twin Isle maintained an unblemished record in group play at the CONCACAF Championship in Aruba with a third consecutive shutout victory today.
A third match in 3 days for TNT's under-15s, born out of their late arrival to this CONCACAF championship. But a simultaneous chance to notch a third win in 3 was indication that their travel ordeal has not significantly affected their play. Meanwhile, opponents Barbados were trying to avoid a third defeat. TNT went to immediate work, seeking to get behind that Bajan backline early and often, their Caribbean rivals though alert to any threat. In the 6th minute, TNT tested the reflexes of Shaquan King in the Barbados goal. Then Barbados showed signs of life by the 8th, but D'Amico Jordan didn't apply enough dip. It all led to an 11th minute opening goal. TNT's short corner routine saw Kyan Anderson whip across onto the head of Anthony James, 1-0 TNT. Still, TNT head coach Denzel Theobald preoccupied with finding ways of finding more out of his charges. Instead, they found themselves having to defend that lead, which came under threat more than once before halftime, Barbados just unable to capitalize. 4 minutes after the resumption, though, TNT turned the screws. Kevez Quintero tripped up inside the area by Adam King. Then Quintero, stone cold from the spot. In the 42nd minute, the same young man was on spot to scoop up the crumbs from Jeremiah Nanton's stinger, 3-0 to TNT. It stayed that way until the end, keeping TNT perfect in Group E play in League B, and now it's on to a 4th match in 4 days, a semi-final on Friday against Group D winner Jamaica.
Thanks, Jassy. Elsewhere, Defence Force and Grenada's senior national women topped their respective groups at the Women's Warriors Wellness Cup last evening. Both teams maintained their perfect records to make a statement ahead of the knockout. Grenada's senior national women in red faced Trinidad and Tobago's Pro Series women for the top position in Group A, with both already guaranteed spots in the semis. Already trailing to an 8th minute Abigail Williams goal, Pro Series found themselves under increasing pressure early in the second. When Kadisha Rennie broke them down in the middle and set Nia Fleming Thompson free, that pressure told. The Spice Girls 2-0 ahead after 50. Fleming Thompson's torment of the Pro Series defense didn't end there. She was inches away from a second soon after, much to Alexia Dolan's relief. Then, released in the 65th, she overcooked a finish to let the Trinis off the hook. Pro Series veteran Tasha St. Louis made some inroads at the other end, but didn't have the angle to trouble Grenada's Jadsa Mark. It was a recurring theme. The locals spent most of the 90 in their own half, and when they got in range, Grenada's back four, Karina Noel central among them, was more than equal to the task. At the final blast of Natalia Williams' whistle, it was mission accomplished. Grenada 2-0 winners, unbeaten top of the group, Pro Series advancing runners-up. In an encore of the Women's League football final on the main pitch mere weeks ago, reigning national champions Club Sando met defeated finalists Defence Force in Group B's last fixture. The final defeat was the Army women's only loss of the regular season. They protected their post-season streak when Aliyah Prince made her own way down the right side to pick out Chanel Arjun for the only goal of the first half in the 21st. Prince and company continued to dictate the pace in a starkly different second half, and Asha James showed her superior speed and touch to further separate the teams, Defence Force galloping to a 2-0 lead after 48. In the 56, Prince got her second of the cup when presented with a cross-field present, the Little Magician making it 3 to the Defence Force. 56-minute sub Nikita Gosain took over in the dregs, bagging her first relatively easily in the 73rd and completing a brilliant brace 2 minutes later as the Defence Force women sealed their passage to the semis, having exorcised the ghost from the season past.
West Indies Home Series Tour, brought to you by Flow. We keep your rhythm flowing.
Switching pitches after back-to-back whitewashes in the Test and T20 series against Australia and a 2-1 loss to Pakistan in the T20 series, West Indies captain Shea Hope is keen on a reversal of fortunes starting tomorrow in Tarouba. As the men in maroon go into the 3-match ODI series, the captain is hoping the ODI batters can continue to make the best of their opportunities.
It's important that we highlight those good performances as well, because we're very quick to cry down our own in the Caribbean. So it's great to see the way Rutherford has been very consistent. I think he scored 5 or 6 consecutive 50-plus scores over a period of time. KSE, who pretty much averages 50 in ODI cricket as well, and he's been showing that constant progression. And then we're getting a lot more starts from the openers. Evan came back in, showcased his skill and class. Brandon doing his thing at the top.
Hope also gave a window into his tactical expectations of the visitors based on the T20s.
I think they're going to throw a lot of spin at us once again, especially in those middle overs, and it's something that we've been a lot better at in the recent past. So just the way we go about and negate that the spin threat in the middle overs, I think that's going to be the deciding factor for us in this series, whether we come out on top or not.
Now here's Ian Wason with some history and context as the men in maroon changed their focus to the 50 over format against the Shaheens.
While West Indies hold the upper hand in the lifetime head-to-head between the two teams, current form is on Pakistan's side. West Indies have won 71 matches to Pakistan's 63, but tomorrow's hosts' last win against Pakistan came at the World Cup in 2019. They have only met in 3 ODIs since then, with Pakistan winning them all. But the West Indies can take encouragement as both teams' records in their last 5 matches are almost identical as they both struggled in the middle format. Cricket analyst Andrew Lawrence is, however, giving Pakistan the edge.
For me, Pakistan has the edge, having just beaten West Indies in T20 format. They've also realized during that series the inability of West Indies players to effectively play spin bowling.
Fast bowler Johan Lane is added to the squad as Matthew Ford was injured at practice on Wednesday. But Lawrence is concerned that Gudakesh Moti is the only specialist spinner in the West Indies squad.
He has chased and just turned his arm over for a couple of overs with a little bit of off spin, but he's not, in my book, what you call a genuine spinner.
First ball is 2 p.m. on Friday at the Brian Lara Cricket Academy in Taruba. Ian Wason, CNC3 Sport.
West Indies Home Series Tour, brought to you by Flow. We keep your rhythm flowing.
Still in cricket, the Caribbean Premier League is set to bowl off next week Thursday, 2 days after the Windies' final ODI. Some of the West Indies players have been engaged non-stop since May, with tours to Ireland and England, as well as the recent home series. And appearing on today's Morning Shot, Trinbago Knight Riders manager Colin Board says there are efforts to decrease player burnout.
If you go back and look at, you'll see that some players sometimes are on a tour, but they may not play 2 games. And that is being managed by the medical team. So sometimes a guy may be anywhere in the world. But once we feel that he's getting to a stage that you could tell that mentally he may be tired, he might get 2 or 3 games off. So in any season, we tend to balance that. Even in a CPL here, we tend to balance, particularly the older guys. You manage their training regimes, the times that they may get up to do interviews. They won't be getting up at this hour to come here. No way.
Perils of the modern cricketer. Now, as we go around the region, Jamaica looks to fit another piece to the puzzle, and SVG eyes CPL inclusion.
Jamaica's 2026 FIFA World Cup push just got a major boost with the news that England-born attacker Mason Greenwood has been granted citizenship and given a Jamaican passport. Greenwood, who is of Jamaican descent, has been capped once for England but has not played for them since his debut against Iceland in September 2020. Having now secured a Jamaican passport, a change from the Football Association to the Jamaica Football Federation is required for Greenwood to be cleared to feature in next month's World Cup qualifiers against Bermuda and Trinidad and Tobago. Jamaica are aiming to qualify for the World Cup for only the 2nd time, having done so in 1998. The island state of St. Vincent and the Grenadines is hopeful about the possibility of becoming the home base for a new Caribbean Premier League franchise. Following the successful staging of the recently concluded inaugural Emancipation Cricket Festival, SVG's Minister of Tourism, Carlos James, said government and local cricket leaders are actively pursuing opportunities for a CPL team to be based there. James said, quote, "We are going to aggressively look at being one of the host territories to join the others," end quote. Meanwhile, Jamaica, former home of the Talawas franchise, is also making significant moves toward a re-entry into the CPL landscape, according to CPL Chief Executive Officer Pete Russell, who said discussions are ongoing with potential new ownership with the hope of returning to the league by 2026. Jassy Marik, CNC3 Sport.
Thanks, Jassy, and now a little something for the Gunners in tonight's Sport High. On a high all summer, Tottenham was brought back down to earth by Bayern. Kingsley Coman's last post curler was won up by Leonard Carl's similarly curly one-time finish to make it 3-0. But the final nail was the pick. Jonah Kusei-Asari with one touch from a difficult angle, leaving the Spurs keeper a spectator. A Bavarian battering blows the Lily Whites away and takes the Knights. CNC3 Sport High. That's it for sport, guys.
I could have saved that.
Thank you so much, Jovan. Let's take a break. We'll be right back.
There's a new Cricks pack with colors that pop. Huh? Yeah, say colors that pop. Same great Cricks that's in all your shops. Shop all your shops. Fresh new look, delicious to see. Look so good, delicious to see. With toppings on top of them, I'm real hungry.
Yeah, boy, real hungry.
Cricks, new pack is a hit. Best food, yes, and no sick. Ready for the shorting to fix your mix? Just reach for the new pack. Reach for your Cricks. Get your Cricks today. New look, same vital supplies.
Food Basket. Food Basket, nation's #1 supermarket. Bakery, restaurant, meat market, fresh producers, everything fantastic. For everyday low price, things real nice. Come in once, but to come back twice. Wholesale, retail, everything for you. A real much wanna shop for go view. Food Basket, the nation's #1 supermarket. Bakery, restaurant, meat market, fresh producers, everything fantastic. Food Basket, Marketplace Shoguanas, where shopping is a pleasure and the price is right.
Get the best in affordable eyewear. Frames with blue filter lenses and eye exam, $399. Single vision lenses with transitions on designer frames, $799. Progressive transitions with designer frames, $1,399. Happening only at Seaview Optical. Affordable eye care for everyone.
Shop Southern Food Basket anniversary specials now. Garlic 1 pound for $9.95. Russet potatoes 5 pounds $17.95. Grill Master Burger patties 2 pounds $49.95. Golden brand margarine 4 for $19.95. Anchor cheddar cheese 250 grams 2 for $44.95. Richport vegetable oil 500 ml 3 for $19.95. With every $300 you spend at any Southern Food Basket, you can qualify to win a brand new Suzuki Grand Vitara. Much more prizes to be won, including Caribbean getaways, staycations, and shopping sprees.
Welcome back. August is a truly special month for Trinidad and Tobago. It's a time when we reflect on our journey as a nation, from African emancipation to Steel Pan Day, and of course, independence.
Now, whether or not you consider yourself patriotic, Independence Day holds a significance that resonates deeply with all of us. Our team of Liana Mirage and Ignatius Wharton spoke to some people who were actually around on the day to find out about their experiences and how far we've come.
Before independence, Trinidad and Tobago was a British colony. Its schools, its government, even its anthem were all British. But beneath that colonial structure, a unique local culture was already brewing.
On August 31st, 1962, a generation of Trinidadians stood on the bridge between colonial rule and independence, watching the red, white, and black raised for the very first time. While we weren't there to witness that moment, we wanted to talk to the people who were and to find out what that time really felt like.
When I was there the night in the square, there was a crowd there and people were anxiously waiting for the dawn of the Independence Day.
It was an honor, great honor. I don't have my flag in my house, you know.
Despite the bliss of independence, some of those we spoke with reminisced about a time when life felt simpler and perhaps more united.
I had plenty of love with one and all. There's not a crime. You can go by neighbor, eat, drink, neighbor, we live as one.
But now we things look good again. We have to look back every time over each shoulder.
Some say a modern Trinidad and Tobago has lost the love and unity that once defined us.
Along political lines and so on is more divided than it was now, than it was around the time of independence.
The elder heads like me, they gone, and the youth are take over now. Well, they are fast forward in everything.
The difference between independence from no is because people is very selfish now.
But even as they acknowledge the changes, the disunity, the challenges, many agree that independence was still the better path.
We would not find Michelle. There have been strides made in terms of the development of the country.
Good changes or bad, the consensus is TNT still has a lot of work to do. But the hope lives on.
And I hope to see better men.
That we can achieve more and that the country would get back together.
Liana Maharaj, CNC3 News.
There, and great story there. And with that, that's how we end tonight's newscast. I'm Kijan Hayes.
I am Doris Polo.
I'm Jovan Ravello.
And I'm Jean-Marc Rampasad. Have a good night.
You're watching